Hello, welcome. This is Sam of Sambookery, and today we are going to do an unboxing, a swatching, and a little bit of watercolor with me. Grabie kindly sent me this set of their brand new watercolors to try out and share with you guys. I haven't opened it yet. I've been really good, but I'm dying to get in here and try these out. So I've got some paper, we're going to do some swatching, and then I thought it'd be fun to use it in my new little sketchbooks here to color in some of the images, maybe some of the roses or some of the flowers in here, just to try out the watercolor and see how well it does on just our regular printer paper as well as the watercolor paper. So let me clear this off and grab something to open this box with, and we'll get started. Okay, I've grabbed a craft knife. Let's get into the box here. See what we have. Such a pretty box. I like the floral print. Ooh. All right, let's see. All right, comes, got a swatch card here. Okay, this is great to have. And directions on using the water brush. Here is the set. This is awesome. Okay, I had no idea what this was going to be. Let me move this out of the way. So this is like hard plastic. It's pretty floral print here. Inside here we've got a water brush. I love using these. They're so convenient. It's like a medium-sized round. That fits in there, I guess. Let's see. There we go. Oh, nice and tight so it won't fall out. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here's our mixing palettes, and here's like a sponge for cleaning off your brush. Let's see. I think they swing. Oh, yeah. These swing out so you can access all of the colors. Look at all the pretty colors. Yay. Ooh, metallics. All right, so we've got metallics over here and pearlescence. And we've got our cool colors on this side. And they do have a little sticker here with the number, the letter and number of the color to match up with the charts. You can see like this one is C35 and C35, and here's cornflower blue. So, wow, that's awesome. This looks so neat. It doesn't take up much space when it's closed, but you can fan this out on your desk and just be able to access like any of the colors. Yay, this is nice. Okay, so yeah, maybe I'll just leave it fanned all the way out so I can reach all of the colors. Or do these go all the way up? I guess they do. Let's put them all the way up and see. Super fun. And then you flip this out and you can get your colors and then mix them here. Yay, this looks fun. I probably won't use this swatch card. Maybe we will. I'll do the small swatch on here, but then I will test it in much a bigger swatch so it'll be easier for you guys to see over on this other paper. So I'll go fill up this water pen and we'll get started. I may grab another watercolor brush as well. The paper I'm going to test this on is the Fabriano watercolor paper, and this is kind of a mid-range. It's a 25% cotton cold pressed paper. So let's get some water and let's see what these colors look like when we get them wet and on the paper. Okay, I grabbed a pot of water and another brush, and I filled up the water brush. But you guys, I discovered something new about this I wanted to show you. On the back here is a thumb ring, and there's little grooves here to put your fingers in so that you can hold this in your hand. So if you're painting plein air or maybe on your lap or somewhere where there's not a big table surface, you can easily hold this in your hand. Flip these out wherever you want to access them. And then flip down here, and everything is all in one place. And then you got this under here. That's so neat. I won't be doing plein air today, so I'm just going to leave this on the table. and I'm actually not mixing. I want to show you what the colors, we may do some mixing at the end. I want to see how well these mix. But I thought that was a really neat addition. I didn't realize at first. I thought I'd show you guys. So I'll use the water brush to swatch these onto this little bitty swatch sheet. But then I've got this other, I bought a whole set of these Grabie quill brushes. I love the quill brushes. They hold so much water. So I grabbed one of these and we'll do like a nice big swatch over here on the bigger paper so it's easier to see. So the swatch sheet starts here with these metallics. There's 10 metallic colors, 10 macaron colors, and then the rest, let's see, 36 classic colors. And it does say these are all non-toxic, which is nice. So we will start, let's see, C100 is sugar. So if you haven't used these water brushes, you just give them a little bit of squeeze to get the water flowing. So this is called sugar. It looks like a nice silver color. I may have got too much water flowing there. So we'll let that sit for a second. And I'll make a nice big swatch here. Let's see where you guys can see. A little bit more water. The metallics are not super opaque. They're great to layer over something else. You can already kind of see the shimmer here. So that's really nice. So next we have got Rain. This is like a dark gray color. Ooh, that's nice. Okay. I don't use a lot of metallics, but I want to do it more, especially as like a final layer, just to add a little bit of shine on top of things. So, oh yeah, there you go. When you hold it to the side, you can kind of see the metallic. And we'll be able to see better at the end when these are dry. So next is Sun, which looks like a gorgeous gold color here. Ooh, yes. That's nice. You see the shine there. Let me do a big one. Ooh, got a little bit of the black on here, but I think it'll be okay. So this isn't like pure. I somehow had a little bit of that previous one on my brush still. These are really nice. I think I will change my water out after we finish with the metallics though, because it is like filled my water with like mica glitter. Looks really pretty. Oh, sorry. Here we go. So there's the gold. Well, that's Sun. The next one's called Rich Gold, so we'll try that one. Yeah, this one's a little bit deeper, warmer gold than the Sun. So here we go. Get the lights in here. And then we've got another metallic here called Woody. To me, it looks more like a bronze. Let's see, is that in? There we go. Sorry, you guys. maybe more copper. Yeah, I think that looks more coppery. I'm gonna pull this side in so you can see this paper a little better. And then we'll pull it out when we get to that half. So here's that one called Woody. It's definitely, to me, kind of a coppery, bronzy color. All right, so let's get, I dropped some water on here accidentally. So let's get to this next one. Perla is this first kind of pinky color here. So we'll try this one. It's very pale, but very shimmery. So let's see a nice big swatch of this one. I guess I'll just do these in rows. Are we on yet? So there's that. Very faint pinkish shine. And then Limon. This yellow one here. Ooh, that's nice, and that's a lot brighter than I thought it would be. That's a nice yellow. That'd be nice for like flowers. Add a bit of bright color and shine. So I'll do the rest of the metallics, and then hopefully some of them will be dry and I'll show you in the light. Let me clean up this water here. Next we have Frosty Blue. That's a nice color. That'd be great for like a winter scene where it's icy. We've got Granita. This is green color here. That's a nice spring green. So I'm using kind of a medium amount of water. The paint really flows nicely in the water. But if you use less water, you can get these a little bit more vibrant if you want. I usually don't use a ton of water. I like vibrant colors. But I'm just trying to do medium for you guys. All right, this one's called Witch. It is this nice purple color. And that is all of the metallics. I'm gonna let these dry for a minute and I'll change out my water because you can see, it's like super swirly with the mica and I don't want that to like taint the other paint. So I'll be right back. Okay, now we're on to these greens here. This first one is Lime. That is a nice vibrant lime color. Ooh, yes, it's a very yellowy green. That looks nice. So, you know, I know there's a glare because everything is wet, so I will do a nice close-up at the end when everything is dry so you guys can get a good idea of what the colors look like without the glare. There's a good grassy green. Oh, I did that with the other brush. All right, and this one's just called green. Next we have emerald. I love emerald greens. Let's see. Oh yes, this is nice. These are just, I didn't spray these watercolors first or anything, and they are just activating really nicely just with a little bit of water, which is so nice. Especially as this is like a travel set, so you don't want to have to spray these, you know. You want them to work with just a tiny bit of water from the water brush, and they do. That green is very staining though. It has stained the tip of this brush, but that's fine. Let's do a nice big swatch here. Next is jungle green. Let's see. Might be a nice shade. Oh yeah, this has got a little bit more blue in it. It's more like a phthalo green. Oh yeah, you can really tell on the big swatch. That's nice. There's a lot of greens, but they're all very different. And so it's nice to have such a variety. Next is bottle green. Get a little bit more water here. That's a nice, more bluish but deeper toned green. And the last one's army green. Ooh, I love an olive green, so I bet this is, yeah. Oh, this is very yellowy. That's a really unique color. I like this one. Oh yeah, there's 6 on the regular colors, and there's only 5 on the metallics and the macarons, so I didn't leave a space. I will just fit him in here at the end. That's a nice. So there's the greens. And next we're moving on to the blues. I don't think I need to change. I can finish with the cool colors and not need to change my water. So we'll just keep going with this side. Baby blue. Oh, this is a nice, it's almost like a periwinkle. Nice blue. Next one is cerulean. Ooh, it's a nice teal. That'd be great for skies. Next we have just blue. It's just called blue. It's a much darker teal. Looks more like a phthalo blue. These don't look similar here, but on here they do, but we'll see when they dry. It may just be the amount of water I'm adding on here is really diluting the color. These quill brushes hold a lot of water. All right, next is Sky. What a pretty shade. This one's called Admiral, so that's making me think something like navy blue. Let's see. Ooh, it's definitely leaning more towards purple. That's nice. And this last one here says Yale blue. Let's see. That's really rich. All right, and that was that one. So now we've got a whole nother set of blues and purples over here. So this is cornflower blue. Ooh, that's nice too. Blue gray. These, you really don't know what you're getting because everything is just really dark in the pan, so it's kind of a surprise when you wet them to see what the color is. Which is why it's nice to have this swatch card, and also the label down here gives you kind of a hint to the shade. I don't say it's exact, but it's definitely close. So we are on the second one here, blue gray. This is a nice deep blue. I like this. Next we have black denim. Just gonna do the big swatch first. This is nice. This reminds me of a Payne's gray. I was hoping there'd be some darker blues on here. Dark blue is my favorite kind of blue. So this was black denim. All right, next is dark violet. Ooh, that's bright. There we go. Nice clear purple. Then we've got one called Cool Black. Very nice. And then we have one just called Black. So we'll see if this is any warmer than the Cool Black. Ooh, it's a lot darker. So that Cool Black is more like a dark gray. Whereas this one is like black, black, ink black. Very nice. These would be great for mixing if you want to just kind of make a shade of one of the colors. Add just a tiniest touch of one of these blacks. Okay, and that is this side with the cool colors. I'll go ahead and get new water so we don't get muddy colors when we switch to the warm side. So I'll be right back. Okay, let's start with these macaron colors up here. Put the other colors, fan them back in. And we will start, let's see, flip this over. We are on this one, pastel orange. Ooh, I still have some bluey green on here. There we go. Let's try a big swatch. It's nice to have these pre-mixed pastel colors so you don't have to waste all of your white trying to lighten up the standard colors. This one is baby pink. Nice, very pale. Next we have tulip pink. This one looks to be a lot brighter. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, that's really bold pink. These would be great for painting those roses in a little bit. Next we have French fuchsia. So let's see, it looks pretty dark. Let's see. I love good fuchsia. Whoo! That one is bright. That's like a neon bright pink. Love it. Pretty. And next we have pastel purple. That's a pretty lavender shade. All right, and that is the first row of the macaron colors. Next we've got powder blue over here. Nice, delicate blue. All these colors remind me of spring or Easter. It's really nice. Next is turquoise. That is so pretty. Next we have Paris green. Nice sweet green color. And then citrine. This one looks to be nice and bold. Ooh, yes. That's very yellowy. And this last one's called Lavender. This looks to be more on the blue side than the pastel purple. Yeah, this is a lot bluer than the other one. So it's nice to have both shades. So there we go. And now we'll get into the warm side of the classic colors, I think they're calling them. And I will set this one aside to dry up here and grab another paper. There we go. So let's start. They've got a white. Let me make sure my brush is really clean. You're not really probably going to see this white, but let's just try. But we'll definitely try it out later with maybe mixing some colors. Oh, that was supposed to go here. Here we go. Can't really see it, but you can kind of tell where I got over the line here. It is fairly opaque. Sunshine Yellow is next. That's a nice clear yellow. Let's get you guys a big swatch. Remember, there's white here. I can't see it, but I don't want to put the yellow on top of the white. There we go. Ooh, that's pretty. Next is Canary Yellow. Let's see. Yeah, that's a bit warmer. Yellow. Yellows are great for mixing greens. It's nice to have a nice, like a cool yellow and a warm yellow. This next one is called Sunflower. That is one of my favorite flowers. So let's see. Ooh, yes, it's almost like a very light orange yellow. And then we have Tangerine. Very nice. And Carrot. Ooh, that's a much deeper orange. Aptly named, I think. All right, next one. We've got just plain orange. So let's see here. It's a nice pure orange color. fire. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's a nice orangey red. Oh, this next one's called Rose. Let's see if this is more a pinky red. Yeah, a little bit. Probably less saturated it would be. Let's see with this bigger brush. Where are we? Third one in. Oh yeah, that's more got a pinky tone to it. And the next one is just red. Sorry that shakes the camera, but I want to make sure I get the other color off the brushes before I move on to the next one so it doesn't contaminate. Oh, this one you can see it's got like a kind of opera pink, fluorescent pink undertone to it. So on this card, I'm doing just kind of very little amount of water to kind of get the full depth of the color, but we're adding more water on here so we can kind of see what it looks like when you're doing washes. We've got Rubine Red. That's really pretty pinkish. Yeah, that's pretty. Those would be great for roses too. Next is Cherry Red. Very nice. And these colors look differently depending what paper you use them on. Watercolors, one of the mediums where like the paper is almost more important than the paint in terms of what the outcome will be. So it's nice to compare these two. This is more of a hot pressed paper, and I have a feeling it's probably better quality. It's probably got more cotton than this one. This is more like mid-grade. I wanted to see it on both types of paper. All right, now we're over here to Jam. Ooh, that's a really pretty color. And this is Blush Red. It doesn't look blush red, but let's see. C16, yep. That maybe wouldn't be what I would call it, but this is a really nice, looks more like a sienna color. It's really pretty, like earthy. This next one is Dijon. Looks right on, looks very mustardy. Kind of like a yellow oxide. And we've got Golden Brown. Very nice. I love these earthy colors. And tawny. And this last one is just called brown. That's a nice, good medium brown. And that is all of the colors. So thank you for watching me swatch this, and in a second I will do a close-up of all of the dried swatches on this card and the large pieces of paper so you can get a close-up look of the final paint colors without the glare. Okay, I think everything is dry. So first I will, let's see, I want to show you the metallics here on the swatch card, but I'll hold this up so you guys can get a close-up view of the colors with the numbers and names. And then we'll do this large sheet. So let me show you the metallics here in the light. Very shimmery, very pretty. All right, so do like a close-up for you, and then I'll put the whole thing on screen. Okay. So I did go through and write the number and the name on them as well. And that's the metallics, and we've got the cool colors of the regular, and then these are the macaron colors. And then here is the second sheet with the white and then all of the warm colors. Did have to hit this one with the hairdryer. He did not want to dry. There's that one. And so let me know in the comments which was your favorite color. I've got a couple favorites. I really love this black denim. If you guys are seeing this, but the blue is, it's not really granulating, but it did kind of separate, and it's kind of got a really cool texture to it. And then I do love this Dijon here. It's just really pretty warm mustardy yellow. So pretty. And this jam, which did some really crazy things. I must have had a really wet swatch, but it looks really cool. So those are my favorites. So now I thought I would try some of this paint out in one of my sketchbooks. We'll start in this Wild Meadow one. Been wanting to do this flower here. Get a clip to hold this journal flat. So this kind of looks like a carnation to me, and I thought it looked nice in a pink. So I've got all of these fanned out over here. And I think I like this pink here. This is the tulip pink. Might be a little opaque for what I was wanting, but I think I'll do this here. And I wanted to add something darker towards the centers of these flower petals here. So let's see. Let's try to mix something. Let me grab some of this blush red with some of this pink. get a little bit darker tone. Yeah, that's nice. It's a little bit oranger. Just something a little different for contrast. The pink's still wet, so just do a little wet on wet with that. And then we've got like a small bud just opening up down here, and so I wanted that one to be a little darker. It's more tightly closed. But we'll add a little bit of this pink. And then inside here, I did want this to be a little darker. It's a little dense. Might even try some of this dark gray here. All right, and then what green should I use for the leaves? Oh my gosh, there's so many to pick from. I like kind of a mix. Maybe I'll do a bit of the army green, a bit of the regular green, and then add a little bit of the pink in to tone it down. And then maybe we'll add something a little more yellowy. Might do this lime. Just a part of the leaves. So far the colors mix very well with each other. Let's add a little brown in here. And I think that's good. I don't want to do any more while it's still wet, but I think that looks cute. Super fun and quick. This is like travel size. This is very travel friendly. So I think if you just put these two together and threw them in a bag, you'd have something to be creative, like when you're having to wait somewhere, or you've got some free time, or just sitting, you know, on the couch or having coffee with someone and you want to be doing something with your hands. Let's see. Let's just do this one. So these roses, I think I'll just use the greens and the reds so I can put the rest of these away. Yeah, I already used those, so I think I'll just use these two. So that'll be nice to just have those out. And let's just see, I think this wants something more in the pinky range, but let's tone it down a little bit. I'll just paint the whole thing, and then maybe see if we can lift off for the highlights. I may need to dab it. Let's see. I don't know. I think I got this paper too saturated. Now this is not watercolor paper. This is just 32-pound regular printer paper. So I can't do too many nice watercolor techniques on here like you would with quality watercolor paper. But just for coloring in, just meditative, relaxing fun, I think this works great. Probably using a bit too much water, but and we've got another rose up here. We'll do it a bit darker since it's kind of farther away. And we'll just do some of the leaves. I'll just do a couple shades of green just to give it dimension. Start with this lighter one. And then start adding in darker color. And then I'm just adding red in because that is a complementary color and it will kind of mute the green into a more kind of natural shade of green, not so vibrant. Now we've got this nice deep green. Scooch this over. You know, I think that's a petal. Some of these I can't tell if they're leaves or petals because it's getting kind of faded out down here. But I think those are petals, so I better go back before I mix up all this red. I think that was more this color. And get that painted. Okay, and back to the green. Let's see. Do something slightly different. Maybe I'll grab some of this army green and mix it in, and that'll give us something a little more yellowish. Let's see what this looks like. And that's a nice contrast to the other two shades of green. And let's do a little bit darker. Just kind of fill in. Ooh, look at that nice brown I made. I put too much red in and it made brown. So let's add a little more green. And that's what happens when you do complementary colors. They will neutralize into like a gray or brown. So you just want to add a tiny bit. I went too far. I think that's actually the start of another rose. So let me little bit of that brown mixture into the red. There we go, to get kind of a warmer red. Just kind of fade it out to the edge. So now that this is a nice darker color, I can, since I wasn't able to lift off of this paper, it started pilling, I can go back with a darker tone into some of these areas for like shading. And then on the leaves as well, we can add a little bit of a darker color for the veining here. Got stems here. And that's probably all I'll do. This is just, it's not meant to be fine art or anything. This is just something fun to do. It's relaxing. I find it enjoyable. You don't have to do any drawing. You're just coloring in and adding a little shading or highlights and just playing around with color mixing. That is super fun and very easy. These colors mixed so well. So a lot of versatility here. It came with a lot of pre-made colors, but they mix really well. So you have like infinite colors that you can use on this. So let me clear this up and we'll take a final look at the dried swatches so you guys can get a good look at the colors. Thanks for spending time with me today while I checked out this new Grabie watercolor set. This was a lot of fun. This is a unique product I had not seen before. If you want to get one as well or to look into them more, I'll throw a link in the description for you. It is an affiliate link, so if you make a purchase, I will get a small commission. It doesn't cost you anything, and that just helps me get the supplies I need to make more tutorials for you guys. If you're interested in these sketchbooks, I'll put a link to them as well. They're available on my website. But I had a good time with you guys swatching today, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.